I'll show you how to use enhanced scripts from Optmyzr to create new ad texts that include a promotional or a seasonal offer. We can do this through a Text Ad Bulksheet. So come to Enhanced Scripts and find a script called Generate Text Ad Bulksheets. In here, you'll make a new setting specifically designed for this particular use case. So let's call it Seasonal Ad Text, so we can remember later on what this was for. And we get to choose between different goals. So we're going to choose the goal to add the same number of new ads to all of my existing ad groups. Now, I just want to add one seasonal variation, so I can put this number to 1. And now the next question has to do with how to pick the best current ad. So when we put in the seasonal creative, we probably want to start with the best performing ad text that we have so far. We can decide how we choose that best ad text. It could be an ad that is either the best or the worst based on one of these metrics, or it could use one of the Optmyzr calculated metrics, or you can even do your own custom calculation to use a metric of your choosing. But let's assume for a moment that you just wanted to find the ad with the best CTR. You would say highest CTR is what we consider best. Of course, if you were doing something like cost per conversion, you might want to choose the one with the lowest cost per conversion. But let's use highest CTR. The date range to use will be the last 30 days, or you can change it to something else right here. And then you can also say who should be getting a notification when this script is done, as well as who needs to get access to the bulk sheet in the Google spreadsheets that's being generated. Now let's take a look at the advanced settings. The first bunch of advanced settings all have to do with the naming of the spreadsheet, where it's going to live, and what the name of the specific sheet is, so we can skip most of those. In the bulk sheet settings, we have to pick whether we're going to upload this through the AdWords bulk upload or the AdWords editor. This is because the headings of the sheet will be slightly different. You can also say whether we should include rows for all current ads in the spreadsheet, and this can be useful so that you get better feel for what other ads have already been tried in an ad group. Optionally, you can include different labels. You can also do this only for specific campaigns based on a label or the naming convention of the campaign. If you only want to do this for ads that you run on the weekends, and maybe those ads have a certain label, this is where you can put that in. What is the label of the ads we'll be considering? And then when we do the calculation, are we looking at device preference of all ads, mobile preferred or non-mobile preferred? Obviously, this is something related to legacy ads. So after January of 2017, this option will become irrelevant. And if we wanted to also add new creatives for paused ad groups or campaigns, we would have to uncheck these boxes. If you were using a custom calculation to determine which is the best ad, this is where you put in that value. Just precede every metric by a question mark and use the metric names as you see them on the basic settings sheet in the drop-down right there. So the names that you have access to are exactly the same ones that we show on this list right here. So that's how you refer to that. So you put in your calculation, and then you can also say how many impressions an ad should have before it can be considered the best ad. And of course, that's to prevent us from thinking the best CTR is an ad with 1 impression and 1 click, which is 100% CTR, but may not be statistically significant. So here we're saying let's make sure each ad that's considered to be the best has at least 100 impressions. Next, you'll save this, copy and paste the script into AdWords and run it from there, and then I'll show you the spreadsheet that comes out of it. To find the generated spreadsheet after running the script, come back to AdWords, make sure you refresh the page and go to the logging section. Then you can look for the setting name that corresponds to the setting that we just created. So this was seasonal ad text. And then here we get a link to the resulting spreadsheet. So you can take a quick look to make sure this looks right. And if it does, you can close this and you can right click on that link to open it up in a new tab. From that tab, we can go and make some changes. So here is the resulting data. Notice how it has a column for action, and this basically tells the bulk upload or the AdWords editor that these are new ad texts that we will be adding, in which campaign and which ad group. It also tells us if it's currently a text ad, which means legacy ad, or a new expanded text ad. Also has the current text inside of it. Because we want to update all of this with a special promotion or a seasonal creative, let me first add a filter to all of this so we can do different things depending on the type of ad we're dealing with. First, let's go and take a look at all of our legacy ads. So here are the legacy ads, here are the current headlines, as well as description line 1 and description line 2. And notice for each one, it tells us how many characters are in there. So here now we could decide to change all of the description line 2s to reflect our new promotion. Something like that, and then we'll copy that across everything. So that's the simplest way to go ahead and do this. Now let's take a look at our expanded text ads. So we changed the filter settings, and that's what we have here. So of course, description line 1 and description line 2 in this case will be blank because these are expanded text ads, so they have a single line of description and 2 headlines. So here, instead of saying this line of ad text, maybe this is where we put in the special promotion. And then we copy that across to all of the ad texts. Okay, and so now with this, we have the new data that we can upload back through the AdWords Editor or the bulk upload system. To successfully upload this back into AdWords, unfortunately, we're going to have to do a little trick to make sure the system doesn't get confused. We'll have to do something separate for expanded text ads and legacy text ads. So here I'm going to make a new spreadsheet now for all of my expanded text ads. When I paste this, I'm going to do paste special with the values only. And this is important because we're going to remove some of these columns. So because these are expanded text ads, these first few fields about legacy headline and description don't really matter. So we can just go ahead and delete those. Now we're left with just the data that's specific to expanded text ads, and the AdWords Editor will accept that if we copy and paste these fields across. We'll have to do the same thing for legacy text ads. So here now we come back, we change our view to legacy ads, say OK, we'll select all of this, we'll make yet another spreadsheet, and we'll again do paste special for paste values. And because these are legacy ads, we don't need any of the fields to do with expanded text ads. So headline 1 all the way through path 2, and we can delete these. Now again, I can select all of this and I can copy and paste it into the AdWords Editor, and it will know that these are legacy ads and correctly handle them. I'm now in the AdWords Editor where I've just gotten a clean copy of my account. Now I'll go to the menu for account, go to import and say paste text, or I could also import, of course, from a file if I had saved my Google spreadsheet as a file. I hit Ctrl V so that I'm pasting in the text and then I'm processing it. Google says it recognizes 24 new text ads, which I can review right here. Make sure, of course, you're on the correct tab for text ads or expanded text ads. And highlighted in green, you see all of the new ones that we're adding. And you notice what they have in common is they all say special promotion. So if I'm happy with this, I can keep the changes and post them back into my AdWords account. And of course, I'd also want to do this once more for my expanded text ads.